Hello. In this video I'm going to cover commonality. Atlas 3 has a very unique and powerful tool which we refer to as commonality. This is where any two or more layers, or actually even one layer, shares a common vertice or segment. So let's look at vertices first, then a little bit on segments. I'm going to leave this settings and history window open on the right side of the screen just so you can see it. I will make another video for the settings and history, but you will notice the history is going to show changes that I make as we edit, and I'll touch on that here in a second. So first let's just start with vertices in common. Right here we see a road. This is another road. This is a regen unit, and then these small pattern fill here is a land class layer, which is also in common. So as you can see, I'm kind of flicking through these just to show that they do in fact occupy the same space. And here's the road. To just put it simply, if two vertices from either the same layer or other layers are in the same exact spatial location, and you move one without holding shift, I'll cover that in a second, but if you move one, it will move all other features that share that vertice. So you can see over here in the history, I moved this single vert. I'm editing the regen layer. I moved vertice 42, and you can see that the history is showing that I moved on regen and on land class and on another land class and on the road layer. So here's the road layer, here's the regen layer, and the two land class layers would be this layer that has this edge on the right, and then the land class layer here that has an edge here. So it's not actually a duplicate, and that's not an error, but you can see that this one vert shares with regen two land classes and a road. So that's a vertice, and because this vertice, and in fact all of these vertices are in common with these other layers, including road, if you were to add a new vert in between these two existing verts, it would add a vert to all the layers in common in the same way that it did when we moved that vert. So you can see over here now, with the regen layer, we added a vert. It added a vert to those two land classes that it was in common with, and the road. I'm going to go ahead and save that change. So let's try it on, let's try it up here, make it a little more complicated. Here's a regen with land class, land class, land class. So that's three land classes. One road, that's a little bit harder to see, but I'll go ahead and move this regen vert again. I just double clicked to activate edit geographic vertex move. Just so happens that we're on the first vertice there, which really doesn't mean anything, but it's just kind of something to note. And I'm just going to grab this. I'm not going to grab it. You don't have to hold G. Anything you can see is active. So now I can click on that, move that over, and what you might not be used to seeing, unless you've practiced already, is everything moves instantaneously. So you don't have to save the edit to see what the effect will be. In this case, you can see that this land class, and this road all moved along with it, which is really nice. Again, you can notice that it did affect all those different land classes and the road and the regen. The nice thing about that live updating is that, say I had a road, and I'm going to hold shift here. Say this road was just back here a little bit. So I broke that commonality now. It kind of looks like it's okay. It looks like it's tight. If you were moving real quickly, you might not think that that's out of common, but with the live update, as you move this, you can see pretty quickly that, oh, wait, why didn't that road move? So that's a big advantage in Atlas 3. When you're doing edits, you'll be able to see mistakes as you go. And lastly, let's just cover breaking commonality. I did do that just now, but there's a million uses for breaking commonality. But the simple explanation is that if you hold shift, I just got into edit geographic vertex move. If you hold shift on the road layer, it's in common with this land class layer right here. Holding shift, move that. Now you're only moving the active selected feature. So in this case, it's just this single road, and I just broke that commonality, and now I'm going to just save that. So because this area right here still shares a vert, this is going to be in common. This will be in common. We broke all the connections right here. Again, I'm going to go over snap settings. That's really the end of this tutorial, but do pay attention if you want to learn more about what these mean. It's another way of breaking commonality, and you can uncheck common, and then you would always be essentially always holding shift. So thank you.